All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. My name is Lindsay Horvath. I have the privilege of serving as the supervisor for the 3rd District of Los Angeles County. And we are here this morning to make our final push on returning our ROEs, our right of entry forms, before our April 15th deadline. That's this coming Tuesday. But don't wait till Tuesday. Get it done now. We are excited to be joined this morning by U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Brigadier General leading the cleanup, Bill Hannon, who is joining us, as well as our relentless partner who has been with us over these past couple of months, Colonel Brian Saucer. I also want to thank Major Kelly for his service while he moves on to his next mission. We know that the work and impact of his work has been felt here in Los Angeles County, and we are grateful for his leadership. As of today, LA County, in partnership with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, has been leading the fastest disaster recover in history. I want to thank our Los Angeles County partners who have provided more than 10,000 opt-ins to the program that we are offering in partnership with the U.S. Army Corps. Only 1,363 properties so far have opted out. And I understand that people have a variety of reasons why they want to opt out, but we appreciate that they've taken action to let us know what steps they are taking so we can work in partnership and collaborate to make sure that we're doing the debris removal and getting people back home safely as quickly as possible. As of this moment, we have a little more than 500 unresponsive properties that we need to hear from you. Ideally, you opt into our program, but even if you're opting out, we need to know which steps you are taking so we can coordinate a safe and swift debris removal process. As of just a couple of weeks ago, we had more than 3,400 outstanding. So I appreciate our partners, especially our media partners who are helping to get the word out to ensure that we are communicating with our community partners and getting these ROE forms in. Our message is working, and we thank you for your partnership. Why we think it's important for you to opt in? This comes at no out-of-pocket cost to you. We are able to leverage economies of scale to make this work quickly. We have just, now that whole area has been cleared because more than 60 properties came together. Those community members worked together, whether they opted into Army Corps or they opted out to private contractors. Army Corps was able to work with those private contractors to clear that area, and now all of those properties are cleared. We are moving swiftly. If you think about it, when we started this process, there was question of whether it might take 6 months for just phase 1 to be completed, and then maybe an additional 18 months for phase 2. And we have dozens, if not hundreds of properties that have been already cleared of both phase 1 and phase 2 debris removal. We are moving swiftly to make sure that there's community safety and that we are making sure people can get back home. And this is largely in part thanks to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers' expertise that they are bringing to this mission. They have worked on the most challenging missions worldwide. They have worked on natural disasters throughout our country, and the best and brightest are leading this effort in partnership with us in Los Angeles County, and we cannot thank them enough for the work that they are doing day in and day out. This not only helps us make sure that we are coordinated in this effort, but it helps our community members know that we're making progress, and it allows us to focus on community health and safety. It protects our community members from the uncontrolled debris, which we know is a hazard to our health. It helps protect our beautiful coastline from this uncontrolled debris, which we know can bring harmful impacts. It also allows us to speed up the reopening of PCH, which we know is so critical to our communities, especially to our business partners who are looking for more reliability. If you are on the fence about what to do, for whatever reason, we know that this can feel like an overwhelming decision, and with everything that you have faced, it is an incredibly challenging time. Opt in. We'll start that process with you, and if at any point in that process you want to opt out, you can. But after April 15th, you can't opt back into this program. So we want you to opt in now. Allow us the opportunity to help you through this very difficult and challenging time. If you have questions about your insurance, you can call the insurance commissioner's office, or you can visit their staff at our disaster recovery centers, which are both in person and now available virtually. You can also speak, obviously, with your adjusters, but any help that we can provide in the county, we will provide as well, too. We see visible progress and momentum, and that helps people feel good. We know one of the challenges people faced in deciding whether they were going to opt into this program was to see how quickly people were going to be able to move. They've heard processes like this take years in other locations. Here, it's taken weeks. Just a few months in, we have made so much progress. 350,000 tons of debris have been removed from our communities. And U.S. Army Corps is on track to clear all Malibu debris no later than May of this year. That's incredible. And we are so grateful for their partnership and their speed and their expertise. We are also still fighting on behalf of our mobile home parks, which need certainty as to how the debris removal process and the next phases of their recovery will continue. And we are on your side. We're here advocating with FEMA. We know that in our advocacy, FEMA has seen that our multifamily housing units, our condos and our townhomes need to be part of their process. And we know that they will also see, because of this advocacy and because of your need, that they need to include all aspects of our mobile home parks as well. What we can't have happen is for unresponsive properties to linger. As we see, there's so much at stake, and the abatement process is beginning. We are working with our city partners in Los Angeles and in Malibu to align our efforts to take swift action to ensure all properties are cleared. We know that we want property owners to have the opportunity to opt in or choose to opt out and use their private contractors. But what we can't do is let our coastline and our communities be at risk 1 second longer than they need to be. And so we will take swift action to ensure that our communities are protected. While we continue to do this work, we know our communities are open for business. Topanga is open for business. Malibu is open for business. And we know that PCH closure and the issues on our Topanga Canyon, the landslides that we're working to clean up, have created great impacts in terms of accessing the communities. So work a little bit harder to support our businesses. We know some of our favorite businesses are out in these communities and need your support in this very difficult time. We're also investing in them too. In the county, we've created funds that business owners and workers can apply for, and we will continue to invest to keep them open. We're being creative about finding solutions to the challenges that these closures have faced. We created school bus options for our Topanga students so they're able to access school much more quickly, and they don't have to wait in the car for hours on end just to get to and from school. There's so much that we are doing, and I am proud of the work that we have been able to accomplish by working together. We know this has been extremely difficult, and even in the best of circumstances, we know people have lost their homes and their communities, their schools, their places of worship. And so that is why we are relentlessly dedicated to supporting you through every phase of this recovery and making sure we are working quickly and safely to welcome you home. It is now my pleasure to welcome the Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Malibu, Marianne Riggins.
Thank you, Supervisor Horvath. I want to thank the partnership that we've had with LA County, the state of California, our federal partners, and especially the Army Corps of Engineers. They have been an exceptional partner in helping bring our city back from this tragedy. They have worked hard and kept things clear, been efficient, and we wouldn't be seeing the progress that we're having without their expertise. I also want to encourage all our property owners that have not filled out your paperwork to opt in or to opt out. Please submit your paperwork. As the supervisor said, we encourage you to opt in, and then if there is a reason that it is better for you to opt out, you can make that selection. But we still need to know where you are. If there are residents out there that have friends or family members that they know their home was lost, but they haven't been in touch, encourage them to please reach out to the city or the county to find out how to complete your debris removal paperwork. City Hall also has staff available from the Army Corps of Engineers to help with questions and to answer issues or problems that you may encounter. And they can straighten it out and find a solution so that we can get your property cleared and get you back to your rebuild process. I would encourage everybody to go to MalibuRebuilds.org for those properties in the city of Malibu to learn the steps in order to rebuild, because we want you back in your homes. We want you to get our community members back in our community and have them enjoying the beautiful coastline that we see out here. I also want to remind everybody, even though Pacific Coast Highway is severely impacted, we have our partners at LA Metro that are running the bus that comes through Malibu. And it is a fast and efficient manner in order to come and visit our city. It'll take you along Pacific Coast Highway. You will be able to stop at our shopping, our beautiful restaurants, and of course our public spaces that are always open and welcome to you. I would like to thank everybody for your time and appreciate the continued attention to this area. And I want to introduce General Hannon now. Thank you.
Thanks for that introduction. I just have a few remarks, and our operational commander, Colonel Brian Saucer, here to my left, will give a more thorough update here in the Palisades fire area. Good morning. I am Brigadier General Bill Hannon, the Commanding General of Task Force Phoenix in our U.S. Army Corps of Engineer recovery effort here in both fire areas. It's an honor to lead this mission. I really view it as serving America in America. As I transition to leading this mission, there's no doubt this is a team effort. Federal, state, county, city, local, and down to the neighbor level effort is what is making this successful. I want to thank Supervisor Horvath, Mayor Pro Temp Wiggins, really all the leaders from the federal down to the local level for their leadership and partnership. That is what is ensuring and enabling us to date to clear across both fire areas over 3,300 properties, with over 1,700 of that 33 fully complete and final sign-off complete. I do want to echo next just these importance of ROEs from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineer perspective. It is absolutely critical right now to opt in or opt out, just as Supervisor Horvath said, so we kind of know where things stand. But I'll say if you opt in, why that is also extremely important and can help is that we have maximum crews right now operating, and we can do this efficiently. We can move faster. We can move safer as folks opt in and submit their ROEs. And finally, we can improve transportation and logistics in the area with coordinated efforts if you're one of the opt-in folks. So from a technical perspective, from a U.S. Army Corps of Engineer perspective, this is something that is important and can allow the community to get to rebuilding faster. And finally, I just want to touch on safety and care. First, safety. One of the best things about the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, no matter where we go, is our commitment to safety. The first thing I did as I transitioned in as the commanding general was to look at every aspect of the operation for safety. And I'll just give one example. I was concerned and I wanted to look at asbestos abatement and movement. And I looked at everything from how we're doing this at the property, bagging asbestos appropriately, to moving it to secured, sealed containers so we can get it through communities safely and to the authorized landfills safely. And I'm confident right now we are doing this the best we can. Finally, care. And I just want to relate a couple of personal stories I've been able to witness in the last 2 days. Our crews are working with homeowners with the utmost care. And just a couple of those examples. I was at a property 2 days ago where the crew was able to, as the excavator was digging, they saw something, and it happened to be sheet music that owner had personally written. And they were able to take that sheet music and save it. Just a property a little bit down the way, there was an owner that had their children's handprints in paving stones. The crew was able to see that. It looked like something that could be salvaged, and they were able to salvage it. And it's little things. It doesn't seem like a lot, but to those homeowners, it is so much. And I just want to emphasize the care that we're also taking with each individual homeowner as we go to clear that property, really with them, to get it done the best we can do. So with that, thank you very much. I look forward to continuing to lead this mission, to do everything the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers can to do this safely, efficiently, and as fast as we can. Thank you.
And to have the final word, Colonel Brian Saucer.
Well, thank you very much, Supervisor. Really appreciate it. And just to echo really the comments from the entire board here, this is a team effort. This is a collaboration, and it has been from the get-go. And I have to take my hat off to the local and state authorities and our federal partners that have made this happen, and the amount of time that we've made this happen. We've accelerated everything, and that's completely due to the collaboration and the partnerships that we've enhanced and developed over time. In particular, Supervisor, I really hats off to the county, LA County Public Works, the city of Malibu, the city of Los Angeles, law enforcement agencies, LAPD, CHP, the sheriff's office. You look at the state agencies, Caltrans, I could go on, Cal Recycle. It's really the partnerships that matter that make us successful as a team. I would also like to highlight the most important partner, and that's the affected communities. It's the homeowners, and I mean that sincerely. That their trust in the Corps, their trust in all of us to perform this mission is what makes this happen faster. We talk about in the Corps the ability to move at the speed of trust, and there's really no more true statement than that. Because again, without those right of entries and that trust from the private homeowner, we cannot clear this debris as efficiently as we are. So to the supervisor's point, I would encourage everyone, please, if you still have not declared, do declare before April 15th. It makes our job easier. It makes our collective job easier. And then the last partner I want to just highlight, because we don't do it enough, here we have the United States Army Corps of Engineers, but we bring in private contractors to perform the work. And the vast majority of your private contractors here are from the great state of California. And I will tell you, the team that you see behind these cameras and throughout the impact area is doing a remarkable, remarkable job. And many of these firms, most of these firms from the state of California, all of our subs, these haulers that are driving by right now, they're likely with the Los Angeles address or here in Southern California. And so again, without that collective team, we don't get to where we're at today. So where are we at today? Just a few short weeks ago, the end of March, we were clearing approximately 30 parcels or properties a day. Pleased, not satisfied. You go about early April, we're starting to hit 40, 45 parcels a day. Again, pleased, not satisfied. And our efficiencies, we continue to ramp up, bring on crews, and we brought that number now to a 5-day average of over 50 parcels a day. Again, pleased, not satisfied. I think we can do better. But those type of numbers we weren't even imagining about a month ago. And what does that get you? So again, we don't know the homework assignment yet because the deadline hasn't closed. But I think conservatively, if you take conservative assumptions, we are 30% cleared throughout the impact area. That is the city of Malibu. That is the county areas. And that is the city of Los Angeles. 30% cleared. Unprecedented speed. At current rates, if we get these homework assignments, these ROEs in, we're going to start producing in another 30% cleared about every 30 days is what we're doing right now. 50 parcels a day, we get about 5,000, that's 1%. So you're getting 30% in a month. This will look entirely different by the end of May when you get to Memorial Day weekend. And I suspect there'll be another press conference right before Memorial Day weekend showcasing those successes. But I would say for the community, this is an optimization problem. In order for us to go fast, like any optimization program, you got to reduce two things, constraints and unknowns. On the unknowns piece, that's the homework assignment. What are the ROEs that we're going to receive? That's what we need to solve first. And then constraints is the patience, because we are putting stress on the roads. We are putting stress on your transportation systems here in Southern California. And that is challenging. That creates new hardships, no doubt. But we can't move fast without those constraints. We can't move fast without enhancing this optimization problem. That's what it's all about. So when we say 50 parcels a day, again, pleased, not satisfied. I think we can do better, but it will strain the system, but it gets us to a completely different place by the end of May. Hats off to the entire team. Supervisor, I really appreciate you hosting this conference today. We're here on Las Tunas Beach. Las Tunas Beach is going to look like La Costa Beach here very, very shortly, in a matter of days, not weeks. And that is through receiving those ROEs. Thank you very much. I think I'll be followed by the supervisor.
And to put a fine point on that data, Our most recent count shows that in the unincorporated areas here, Topanga, Sunset Mesa, we have about 20 outstanding properties. In the Malibu area, we have a little bit more than 30 outstanding properties. But in the Palisades and the Los Angeles area, we have a few hundred properties that still need to respond. So please, if you haven't responded, if you haven't opted in, if you have questions for whatever reason, opt in. Allow us the opportunity to work with you, and let's get this job done. I'm happy to take any questions that you might have. Yes.
And opt in or out of the debris removal, they could face charges for the full cost of debris removal or a lien on their property. Can you confirm, explain?
So once the deadline has passed, each local jurisdiction has authority over the abatement process. So in the city of Los Angeles, the city will lead that effort. In the city of Malibu will lead that effort. And in the unincorporated areas, the county will lead that effort. So each jurisdiction will have its own abatement process. We're hoping that it will be a collaborative one where we can work in a unified manner to bring these properties into compliance. But some of the tools that you mentioned are still on the table. We don't want to see residents have to face any more challenges than they've already faced, which is why we want them to opt into this process, to work with us so we can answer their questions. We can do this at no out-of-pocket cost if they opt into the Army Corps process. There's a lot of advantage to working with us, and that's why we want to make sure people know that this deadline is looming and they have an opportunity still to have help to get it done.
Any other questions? Anyone else?
Are there any other questions? Before you leave, we have a special presentation I would like to make. As you heard last week, even our city partners, our school partners have recognized just what record speed and what a phenomenal job has been happening on the ground. And that is in no small part thanks to the strong leadership of our U.S. Army Corps of Engineers partners. And I especially want to thank Colonel Brian Saucer. He has been on the ground for the past couple of months, and he is now leaving us to go on to another mission, but we know that the impact of his work continues to be felt. We thank him for the dedication that he has brought to this effort. I know that you've faced tough community meetings, you've had really complicated conversations with our residents, but all the while instilling confidence in your ability and your expertise to get the job done. So on behalf of Los Angeles County, we want to make a small presentation to you, designed by our local artists. We hope that you will take this as a memento of our gratitude for your lasting impact to our region. We thank you for your leadership, and we wish you all the best to you and to your family as you move on to your next effort. Congratulations and thank you.